passing that order in the parliament. Once it gets approved by everyone, then only it will be enabled. Right? So, they have passed an act that is called as Promulgation of Budgeting Act 1773. So, this act to establish the Supreme Court. So, they need to establish the Supreme Court. In order to establish the Supreme Court, they have passed an act called as Promulgation of Budgeting Act in the year 1773 by King of England. The main purpose of this act is to establish the Supreme Court. So first they have established the Supreme Court at Calcutta. Right? Then in Madras and Bombay also they have established by King George III in the year 26 December and 8 December 1823. So they have passed an act and after that they have established the Supreme Court. Then for High Court they have passed an act called as Indian High Court Act 1861. So they have passed an act in order to establish the High Courts. This is for Supreme Court and this act is for High Court. Then when did India attain independence? 19. So after that the constitution came into power in the year 26 January 1960. So the first sitting for the Supreme Court was held at 28 January 1960. So after India attained independence, the constitution came into power in the year 26 January 1960. And after that, the first sitting of the Supreme Court held at 28 January 1960. So these are about the history. They have passed an act and then established the Supreme Court, High Court, and the first sitting held at the year 28 January 1960. Right? Then they were to see about the Supreme Court building, right? So what's the average plot area for the Supreme Court? So last we discussed about this, right? So what's the coverage area for the Supreme Court? So it's a triangle plot of 17 acres. So it was built by an architect called Ganesh Mukherjee. He is an architect who designed the Supreme Court. So he has designed the Supreme Court in an Indo-British architectural style. So this architect has designed the Supreme Court in the Indo-British architectural style. Right? Then they were opened by President Dr. Rajendra Prasad in the year 29 October 1952. So Ganesh Mukherjee had designed the Supreme Court in an British architectural style. Then it was reopened by President Dr. Rajendra Prasad in the year 29 October 1952. And he explained or demonstrated the Supreme Court as temple of justice. So in olden days they have been using some laws in order to punish the people, right? So they have followed these rules, dharmas in the Vedic schools. So as days pass, we have So in olden days they were using some rules, right, in order to punish the people. So if you do any mistake, you get punished by applying some dharma laws, etc. in the olden days. So nowadays they have created some laws. For that purpose, they have introduced the Supreme Court, which is called as the Temple of Justice. Then the Supreme Court will be having a mother and child bronze statue, right? So what did the mother represent? So you can see a mother bronze sculpture, a mother carrying a child in the Supreme Court. So what did the mother implies? So mother implies a country, and the child carried by the mother implies the laws. So by this act, they have added 2 more judges, and at first we will be having 34 judges. So among this, one will be the Chief Justice and remaining will be the judges. Then, so who appoints the Chief Justice of India? President, right? Then, who appoints the President of India? The Chief Justice of India is appointed by President, right? So he will be taking oath in front of the President. Then who appoints the President of India? Who appoints the President of India? Chief Justice of India is appointed by President, right? So he will be taking oath in front of the President. Then the President is appointed by Chief Justice of India. So in front of Chief Justice, he will be taking the oath, right? Then who selects the Supreme Court judges? Not only President, they have a Parliament, right? So among that Parliament, they will discuss and they will decide, right? Then they will see for majority number of votes among the 2 houses. So we have 2 houses, right? What are those? Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So they will discuss among themselves and they will select and they will see for the majority votes. Then they pass the bill to the President. So once it gets approved by the President, then only the Supreme Court judges will be elected. Then who has the power to remove the Supreme Court judges? That is Chief Justice of India and other judges. Who has the power to remove the Supreme Court judges? That is Chief Justice of India. Same thing, not only President, but also Parliament. Right? So they will be discussing the drawbacks of them in the Parliament. Then they will be taking votes among the 2 houses. Then only they can be able to remove a Supreme Court judge. Right? So based upon 2 reasons only they can remove a Supreme Court judge. What are those? Listen, a person cannot simply remove a Supreme Court judge, right? So based upon a 2 reasons only, they can remove a Supreme Court judge. So what are those? If they are corrupted, then they will be removed from the Supreme Court. Then, depending upon their behavior or character, they will be removed. Their character is not good, they will be removed. That is interdisciplinary action will be taken. Right? Any doubts about this? So next we are going to discuss about the qualification of judges. Stop talking. So a person will be appointed as a Supreme Court judge should have some qualification, right? So what are those? A person will be appointed as a Chief Justice of India or Supreme Court judge. So he or she should satisfy some conditions, right? So what are qualifications? Louder. Right. Then right, experience in both advocate as well as they should have experience in practicing as a lawyer or advocate. Right? They should have some experience in High Court judge. Then, what's the main important thing? The qualification of judge. What's the main qualification? They should be a citizen of India. Then, they should have minimum 5 years experience as a allegiance towards the Constitution of India. Then they will uphold the integrity of India. Then they perform duly and faithfully without any favorism, and based upon their knowledge they have to decide the judgment. Then they will perform duly and faithfully. The last one, they will uphold the Constitution and laws. These are all the oaths they will take in front of the President of India. Then we see the tenure of the Supreme Court judges. That is the time duration, right? So now there will be no duration, but they will hold the office up to the age of 65 years. So a Supreme Court judge can hold the office up to the age of 65 years. Then he can resign his position by writing a letter to the President, or the President can impeach, that is remove the Supreme Court judge before discussing with the Parliament. Right? Then already discussed about the rule of judges. So they will impeach the judge based upon the decision made in the Parliament. So they will be impeaching the judge based upon two reasons. What is the incapacity and other one will be misbehavior. So misbehavior or incapacity. Depending upon these two reasons, the Supreme Court judges will be impeached, that is removed from the judge position. Then salaries and allowances. So the salaries and allowances are determined by the Parliament. So normally the Supreme Court judge or the High Court judge will have their own home, and they will have some allowances also. This will be decided by the Parliament and President. Already we discussed about the classification of Supreme Court powers, right? So what are those? So we have original side, right? Then appellate, and last one advisory. So what is meant by original practice? What is the original side practice? So they deals with the center and one of those states, or center and any state or states. Between two or more states. So they deal with the cases that is between the center and one or more states, or center or one state with another, or between two states. Then what is the writ practice? What is the writ? Listen. The cases, listen. The cases they have lost in the High Court. This is coming under the writ and appellate side practice. Right? They will be going to appeal in the Supreme Court. The last one, advisory practice. So what is advisory practice? So it includes the laws and regulatory actions that are taken for the advisory board of the President as well as the Parliament. So these are all the powers